Hey everybody, in today's video, I'm going to show you 5 absolutely essential must-know groove techniques that are so good for hand interplay and syncopation rhythmically. These are so useful, particularly for the genre of funk, but if you learn these techniques, you're going to find that the interplay between your hands and some of the little techniques that I show you that are very specialized, they're going to apply across all genres. So if you want a full 100 of these specialized groove exercises across every genre I could think of, then definitely be sure to check the link in the description. Now let's take a look at the first one here. Now this first one is kind of a level 1 interplay between the two hands, especially your right hand and your left thumb. You're going to see that this is an extremely important theme here in the techniques that we're learning. So let's take a look at it real quick. So let's slow that down a little bit. Even more. So notice the interplay between the right hand and this left thumb, as I mentioned. So the key concept here is actually that the left hand is basically filling in the rests when the right hand is not playing. So we're looking at 16th notes in this example, but it could also be 8th notes depending on what you're playing. Essentially, the right hand is going to have some kind of a melody or some chords, and anytime there is a rest in the 8th note or 16th note rhythm, we're actually going to have that left hand fill it in. So for step 1, just learn the rhythm as is. But for step 2 here, I want to get a little bit more improvisational. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually now improvise rhythms, but just making sure that the right hand and left hand don't hit at the exact same time. Rather, whenever one is playing, the other is not, but something's always filling in the gaps. I'm going to just stick with the black notes in this case because, you know, E flat minor pentatonic, and then I'm just going to do root and root in the left hand, pinky and thumb. So that's just one example. Let's try another. Might have rushed a little, but you get the idea. So that's really step 2 right there. Now for step 3, and this is something I want you to do with all of the techniques we go over in today's video, we can start to get away from the original chord. This is really, really important because a lot of the time people show you exercises, but they don't show you how to actually put them into context. So let's actually try a fun chord progression here. Let's do E flat minor, and then we'll go to A flat sus, and then B flat sus. So, you know, we can start with E flat minor 7. We're basically doing G flat over A flat here, but for that A flat sus, then just up a whole step to the B flat sus. So notice I'm sometimes switching up the rhythm just a little bit. When you first start, you know, consider doing it just completely just filling in the gaps, you know. As you get more comfortable, you can, you know, hold some notes, change up the rhythm a little bit like I was just doing. And don't rush like me, use a metronome. I'm not using one right now just because it's a little tricky to turn it on for the video and I didn't think about it before. And by the way, I just put out a set of 100 of these rhythmic grooves for both hands on piano. I basically designed it, worked really hard to make it so that if you just go down the list and learn all 100 of them, regardless of the genre, you will have all the skills you need for the rest of your life to play super professional, advanced sounding rhythmic techniques and grooves, really in any situation. If that sounds interesting to you and like it might be helpful, check out the link in the description, and here's what it looks like on screen as well. All right, let's get right into these techniques. the next groove is taking our two-hand interplay to the next level. Now we're going to actually have the thumb sometimes playing the exact same note. So see how we're alternating? For step one, you can just work on that alternation between the two thumbs. Is that a word, alternation? I don't think it is, but let's go with it. Let me know in the comments. So start slow and then see if you can get it up to speed. This becomes such a useful technique when we are working on these grooves. So let's break this one down here. So what we're really doing here is just going between two chords, right? C minor 7, B flat minor 7. You've probably heard some funk grooves that are maybe just a little bit on the simpler side that are like. That might be kind of a simple version without the interplay technique that we're working on here together. So now let's take a look at what the thumb is doing. So we're starting with that pinky giving us the bass note again, and in this case it's actually doing an eighth note, so it holds a little longer than the rest, but. And then here's where our thumb starts to alternate on the same note. And yes, you might call me out in the comments. I did play the slow version just a tad different there. If you noticed it, let me know. Let me know what I did differently. And by the way, none of these exercises have to be perfectly exact. I want you to learn them as is just to kind of have that as a starting point. But then the whole point of this is, again, to work on them in context and take them into your own playing and your own chord progressions. So let's say we got that thumb alternation down. Let's say we actually learned the exercise perfectly according to the sheet music. Starting slow, moving on up with the metronome. Now let's see if we can do some variation on it with the thumb and the chords. So there's a trick right there. Sometimes I'm actually you can actually change the notes in the middle as you get more comfortable. Not always going to sound good, so you're going to have to get used to what's going to sound good as you work on this, and especially as you work on this improvisationally. But see how this is translating into these really amazing rhythms, these really amazing funk rhythms in this case, I would say. These techniques are so useful and they don't have to apply just here. And that's why I'm showing them to you in this 5 must-know video, right? Not just because it's YouTube and I want to give you just the big 5, right? But because I chose these specifically to give you different capabilities that you can then branch off and apply. Now, another quick reminder that there are actually 100 of these that I designed specifically to give you the full range of genres and techniques, every single one that I could think of that you could possibly need. And if you just learn those 100, you will basically be a piano, two-hand rhythm and groove master across pretty much all genres. Even if I left a genre out, these techniques will give you the skills that you need to play that. So be sure to check that out. Link is in the description. And of course, every single purchase of that goes to helping me continue to make a living doing these free lessons for you as well. So of course, I really appreciate you checking it out and considering purchasing it. And I really also designed it specifically and worked really hard to make it extremely useful for you. All right, let's get back to it. So the reason I chose this one is because now you're starting to get some more interesting bass movement. Having the left hand, actually voice leading the bass line into different chords is so essential to being able to put this into the context of different songs. So let's actually now dive in and take a look at this one a little bit more slowly. So the real technique here is kind of going with what we did before. So So we're still using our octave technique here, but I want to show you one little trick. So if you were really paying attention to my hand, you might have noticed something. I'm doing fourth to thumb here as you move up, and this is one of those essential tricks that I wanted you to see. You can actually practice going up like this. Here's a little extra additional pro exercise for you. 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4. And then on the way down, this is really useful too. So we can do 5, 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1. And what we've been doing is just moving this up the F Dorian scale, right? So the right hand here is really just moving chords up diatonically in the F Dorian scale, right? And we're just messing with the roots here. That was my variation right there. You should already be used to actually creating variations here. But going back to the original, actually, we did this little chord here to make it a little bit more of an interesting sus sound, adding the 13. So B flat sus 13. The last one we just do a B flat 7 flat 9 sharp 11. And then on the very last chord we do B flat 13 flat 9 sharp 11. Right, so the B is the flat 9, E is the sharp 11, G is the 13. All right, cool, let's keep going. So for this next technique, the hands are actually a little bit less separated. What we're actually doing is kind of combining them into one flowing texture. The right hand's going to end the texture with a chord, and the left hand is doing the bass line. So let's take a quick look at it. All right, so let's break this down. We're basically doing 1, 5, 3 in the left hand, but with this 10th structure. You can roll it too, right? You don't have to be able to reach that whole thing. But we're basically completing the arpeggio with the right hand chord. If we practice just that, we could go up and down. See how it's basically just one arpeggio here. But we're making it a bit more rhythmic and then reaching down to another chord, in this case the E minor 11, right? So a little bit of a tricky jump there, but you can get the hang of it. And then here you could put the third finger there, which makes it easier to get back to G. And then with the pedal, it's really nice. And of course, I want you to try this with other chords as well. What if we wanted to do major? Really, really pretty. And of course, apply this to other chords as well. So I wanted to give you an advanced one that's a bit different rhythmically because we're using triplets here, but we're still using the techniques that we've used so far in this video. So check this out. All right, let's break it down. First of all, on the left hand, we have this 10th, 1 flat 3, right, with this E flat minor. I love my minor 11ths. And we're feeling the whole thing in 4/4, but everything is triplets, right? The right hand is kind of simple. Get those chords right. So. So let's take this a little slow. So at the very end there, we really use this interplay. So you can really kind of practice that. I'm doing kind of diatonic triads in E flat. E flat Dorian, that is, right? One other really important piece of this one is using the little flicks, little ornaments, however you want to call them, but so this flick is literally just 2 to 3. All right, and that is it for this video. So if you learn those 5 techniques, you're gonna be in a really good position to be playing different funk grooves. These are gonna apply really, really well across the board because they're advanced rhythmic syncopation techniques. And they're also just great for hand independence, but then also hand codependence, we could call it, right? The 2 hands working together in these really fun, interesting, intricate rhythmic ways. By the way, let me know in the comments, how do you say rhythmic? I keep saying rhythmic. Do you do 2 syllables or 3? It's different for me every time. Everyone makes fun of me when I say rhythmic, but whatever, I'll go with it. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you want a full 100 of these specialized groove exercises across every genre I could think of, then definitely be sure to check the link in the description. The new exercise set that I put out is designed specifically to give you an amazing across the board rhythmic ability with both hands together. And I think you're gonna get so much out of it. If you just go down the list and learn those grooves, you're gonna be in amazing shape for the rest of your life. It's honestly kind of that simple, particularly if you actually apply them to some different contexts, just like we did in this video. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.